at 270 something?
Ew.
You're gonna turn it up one more.
Look at that muscle. That's like shifting around my whole
And then
arm.
you're gonna turn it up to 7.
What's up with my thumb and this finger that trying to connect?
Does it hurt?
Oh, I can't even open. Oh! Whoa!
45 minutes of exercise a day. Yeah. Pretty easy.
You're gonna go do water aerobics.
So it'll make them tired.
Yeah.
What if I lower it? Wait. Hey. That's how it looks, and then...
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because we believe student success is success worth celebrating.
Who did you get this degree for? You got it for me.
I did it for you like that.
And turn it down.
Wait, no, not yet.
Find your online graduate or undergraduate program today at
Okay, so that really weird Tommy Wiseau picture came in my little brother's room, which used to be upstairs, by the way, if you were wondering why he's in this room now. If you remember, this used to be my big brother's room, but he finally officially moved out, so it used to just be like gray and then white, but my little brother and my dad and I all painted it white, lime green, and black. But I don't know when he's going to notice this, but he's just going to be like laying down, and then all of a sudden little Tommy Wiseau is going to be staring at him, and he's going to be like, oh, hi, Brayton. And yeah, so go show you his old room, how it looks now. If you remember, I can't remember the last time we showed it, but it was a while ago. But this room, I think, looks much better than that room. In the upstairs room now my mom's going to use for a doTERRA room. So yeah, so this is Brayton's old room. Of course, it's a lot more echoey in here, but of course that's where his bed was. And yeah, so most of the stuff's out, not all of it, but yeah, so that's that. So it's also snowing again.
James, that's enough. Like, that's the volume right there. Is that okay? Okay, sing that from the behind. Ready, and go.
Hey guys, welcome back to an episode by Brand World 2 Day Vlog 50. Yes, we are finally halfway to Day Vlog 100. My first thing I want to show is my 2 new wood projects. So again, you guys know in 7th grade I made BW2 Diamond Key Rack, and then 8th grade I made Seattle Seahawks Clock, and then a couple videos ago I showed this really cool box, which was not optional, we just had to make that, but I really like that. Of course, I talked about it for quite a while on the other video, but it's a keepsake box with a false bottom with my second favorite band on the top, Bastille. But now I have actually, since I finished all of my required things, which was like just this little trial thing where we just had to like make different size holes and cuts onto planks of wood and stuff and put them together, which that's not even really a project, it's just kind of getting used to tools and stuff. But we made that, and then we had to make this little wood block puzzle, which I completely failed at, and then we had to make and then we had to make one more thing, which I can't show you guys yet. I will show it on the Christmas video because it's something that I made for my parents for a present, so I can't show you that, guys, quite yet. But then I also made another wood project that I'm not showing until Christmas because it's another project that I made for Mom and Dad, for my mom and dad, but that one was not required as well. But I will show both of those on the Christmas video. But these two I can show right now because, of course, they're just mine. But the first one is up here. This one was probably the biggest wood thing. This thing was probably the biggest pain in the butt wood thing I've ever made. Just gluing it together, and then I had to glue it together again the next day because it all fell apart. And then I was waxing it, and then the top part flies off, so I carry it over to go fix it, and the rest of it falls apart again. So I just decided when I got home, I just screwed it all together. So I'll take it down so I can show you guys. But this is pretty darn big. It's pretty darn heavy too. This is my first project that I ever like used 2 different stains, which you can probably barely see, but those, the 2 legs are actually lighter stain, and then this one you can see is definitely darker stain, and these ones are darker stain, just for some reason, it didn't turn out too dark. Yeah, so basically it's just a little shelf. I don't have anything on it right now, just because I don't really know what to put on it quite yet. Yeah, this top part is not really a shelf, it's just like a little aesthetic part, and then the little legs, you can see the screws. That middle one I actually nailed in, and then I screwed in that one, and then that one, on both sides. And then I drilled that in there kind of just for a cool aesthetic thing, but it didn't really work out, so I just, I don't know, it might hold something, I don't really know. And then I made these little feet on the bottom too, and then I used the router and just did that for some more aesthetics there, and that's the back. So pretty darn simple, but not making it, of course, just because I thought it'd be more structurally sound than it was. But at first I was saying max weight is like a pound, but now since I screwed it in, you can probably put up to like 3 pounds on there, which I will still probably not even put up to a pound on each shelf. I don't know what I would put on there to make that much weight, but yeah, so go put that up back real quick, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But yeah, so real quick, the other thing you guys may have noticed is my trophies were going all the way across there, and then of course those 3 trophies are still down there. But I basically moved them to get some more room. I moved them all over here, so they still look really cool. It gives it more dimension. I kind of put them in a certain order, and I put my 2 glass things with the little light up stands in front of here, my bowling pin, and I finally put my plaque that I got a very long time ago. I finally put that up there, but it's just been sitting on my desk for who knows how long. Yeah, so then I just scooched all those things over, and this stuff I also did kind of like the same thing with my trophies, just to make a little bit more room, so now I have some more room for movies. And yeah, so just did that. But the next thing here is my wood project that I actually just brought home, I believe a day or 2 ago. Before I started another one, I actually did start another one. That's another one just for me, and but that probably will not be done for about another week or so, so I'll show that on the next day vlog. But this is probably one of my most favorite wood things I've ever made, because of course, at school, I have made quite a few, but even, like, at home, I made, like, that stand, and, that thing back there, the flux capacitor, and I made a few things out of wood, of course, but, this one is very, very good. This one, of course, is another one of my own design things, but this one turned out even better than my shelf. This one was so much easier to make, even though it's probably even more complicated than that one, I wish you guys could, like, feel this, but this is, like, you can see how many different pieces of wood I had to cut and put together, but you can see that, kind of, it is just so flush, like, you can see the shine, you can't even see or feel, like, that it's different pieces of wood. There's only, like, a few places where it was kind of uneven, like, kind of right there and stuff, but other than, like, that part, there's, like, no place on this box where you can feel it, and it is just so flush. And I used a little bit more wax on this one, so you can see this one is very, very shiny pretty much everywhere. My door just slid out. Yeah, so definitely really, really love this one. But you can see it's just 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So it's just a little perfect square box. So yeah, so of course that's my keepsake box. It's still a lot smaller than that one. But basically this one, I just put that on the top just for aesthetics. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking. But basically I made up my own little track system here. So you can see that it's actually a sliding door box. So I made this little handle on it right there. And you basically just push that and it slides on out. And then you can take it all the way out. And you can also, of course, slide it back in. So yeah, so pretty darn cool. And then right here, I sanded that. So of course, this is all light stained. Again, I used 2 different stains for this one. And that's light stained, and then the door is yeah, so yeah, as you can see, the door is dark stained, but the rest of it is light stained. So then on the side, I actually sanded it off, so it kind of blends in with that on the side a little bit more. And I could have made the door taller, but that's why I put this piece here, just so it's even more smooth. And this, it's kind of cool because it feels like it's on a really good track, and like you can hear how smooth that is. So yeah, so very, very smooth. And I put a little extra wax on the tops and bottoms of that and of the door, so it'd slide nice and easily. So yeah, so basically inside you can put a few things in there. I don't know what I'm gonna put in it quite yet, because for my keepsake box, don't have anything in it. Same with this, and I don't have anything on my shelf quite yet. But eventually I'll put some stuff in, probably all of them. Yeah, so not an insane amount of room in there, of course, but it's a nice little amount of room. You can see it's pretty much sealed everywhere around except for that little bit of light right there. But for my track system, I just took some pieces of wood and I made them very small, just kind of like big old like square prism type things. And then I made that one a little bit shorter so it could go on the inside of those walls there, and that one longer so it could go all the way to the edge. And you can see that it's just a little track right there. And then this wall is to hold the door back, of course, so that just goes right there, so then the door just slides on in. And then of course that is the bottom there. So yeah, it's very, very shiny, but yeah, so really, really like that box. And again, these, you can see that's all different pieces of wood, but it is just so flush, especially like this piece, like, that is like the most flush other than that part right there. Man, it's crazy, but so yeah, so, and yeah, sometimes my door kind of falls in like that, but yeah, so I will talk a little bit more after I get my door back out and put this back on my shelf, and yeah, I'll see you then. But yeah, so one last thing is the doorknob thing right there, you can see is kind of like a cool little geometric shape and stuff. So I actually had to make another one of those because when I went to go grab another palm sander, someone stole my old one, which wasn't that big, because I mean, it wasn't done yet, but that one is, of course. But yeah, so that's my little box, and yeah, I'll show you guys my next project or projects on the next day vlog, and I will explain those and everything. But most of that wood is that one, of course, was made out of the old bleachers from Great Falls High, and I believe all the wood that this one is made out of is also, and then that one, I believe the legs are made out of that wood too, or something like that. But yeah, so let's see, the next thing on our little list is these things. So first, I got two new things here. So I guess I'll start off here, expanding my pop vinyl collection. Just to go over it real quick again, my first one was Iron Patriot right there, then December 2014 Loot Crate exclusive Joker Batman, and then I also have Sam I Am over here, and then that one from the Pro Shop in Seattle, and it's Richard Sherman. And then my favorite one so far is Mia and Sebastian from La La Land, which I showed on the last day vlog. And yeah, but I believe that is all of them so far. So I got this new one right here, which is my first Star Wars one. So now I have like the three main different categories of pops, because of course you have like just like the main pops, which are just like standing there and everything. And then you have the Marvel ones, which are bobbleheads, and then you have the Star Wars ones, which are bobbleheads and come with a little stand. So yeah, so of course I got Kylo Ren. He's not my most favorite Star Wars villain. That's probably still, at least in live action, that's probably still Darth Vader. But he does have my favorite lightsaber in live action or anything else. So yeah, so I just got this from Target for like $9. It was, this one is, of course, part of the new Star Wars The Last Jedi line, which went into theaters yesterday. I would have went and saw it like today, but I'm probably just going to wait until sometime next week. Just because I always do my reviews for the Star Wars movies on the Christmas videos, so make sure to check out the Christmas special this year, because I'll be doing my review for Star Wars The Last Jedi. But yeah, so they're just kind of waiting for the lines to get through also, because of course, I mean, it's Star Wars. But yeah, so that is Kylo Ren right there, and of course he is demasked, because I believe his mask is like destroyed now. But then he has that scar that Finn gave him on Star Wars The Force Awakens. But I actually didn't know this, but I thought they were stuck on their stands, but I figured out that you can actually take them off of their stands, so that's kind of cool. So the stand is just this, it's definitely hollow, it's very light, but then you just have like the Lucasfilm and all this stuff on the bottom. Then it just says Star Wars and that cool chrome, and then the little pegs for them to stand on, and kind of a cool little podium. And then you have Kylo Ren right here, which is kind of in a cool little pose. He's kind of just like standing there, and then you can see he's kind of like looking up and off to the side a little bit. But you can see, of course, he is a bobblehead. Then he's got the scar, his long black hair, and since he's Adam Driver and everything. And then, yeah, and then you can see he has this nice little checkered suit with his belt and everything. And although it's pretty darn simple, I really do like his suit. And then, of course, he is holding his lightsaber with his, since he has a bleeding kyber crystal, it's all cool and shredded looking and like all unstable and everything. So yeah, so you can just see that little tri-blade lightsaber, so that looks very cool. The other one I saw was very bent, but this one is pretty darn straight. That's the problem about Star Wars pops a lot of times, is lightsabers are all warped and stuff, but this one was pretty darn good. And then you can just go back on the stand, so I'll put that back on the shelf real quick, and then we'll be right back. And then, yeah, so of course I just put him, my Seattle stuff. I just decided, like, I really do like those two shelves there, but I do need to put some more things on the shelf, so all that stuff is Seattle except for that now, but I think he looks pretty good next to my hat. So on to the next thing is a new car model. I believe on the unboxing for that, I said that was going to be like one of my last car models, but obviously that's not standing very well, because then I got that one and now I have that one. So yeah, so I'm probably just gonna, I don't know when I'm gonna stop, but, I'm just probably not gonna get, like, too much more, or probably, like, no more of the 118s, just because, I mean, they are pretty ginormous, although the detail is amazing, and I probably will only get a few more, or maybe, like, one more of these 124 scale, because they're not that much smaller than the 118, but, these 136 scales are pretty good, because although, the hood in the trunk doesn't usually open, the doors usually open, and that one even has scissor doors still. But the detail's still pretty good. But this one is gotta be not my favorite car model, but one of my most favorites. Because if you guys don't know, it is the car pretty much first introduced on Furious 7. It's one of the actual Fast and Furious line cars. You can see on the license plate there it says Furious 7. But it is the W Motors, or the 2015 W Motors Lycan Hypersport. Which, as you guys know, I'm more of a fan of, like, these types of cars. Like, that's my second favorite car. First favorite car right there. Third favorite car. I'm usually more of a fan of, like, not of, like, just kind of like the sports cars, not like the insane supercars or hypercars. But for the insane hypercars that just look ridiculous, the Lycan Hypersport is probably my most favorite. Lamborghini Veneno is probably right after. But other than those two cars, I am really not a fan of crazy looking cars. Like, I do like the Ferrari LaFerrari too, but these two are probably my most favorites. So this one I really love the car model. It was only $15.39. I actually wanted to get it a while ago, but then I went and, like, bought something else, and then I went home and then I watched a review and figured out that it actually has the cool doors and everything, and I was just like, okay, I actually really want that. So I went back, it wasn't there. This was about a month and a half ago now. So that's when I bought that instead, which I showed a couple day vlogs ago. But I went back to Target a few days ago, and that was there, so I got something for my Secret Santa, which you will see on the Christmas video. So I just got that pop figure, and this, for like $20-something, it was pretty darn good. So yeah, so here it is, pretty darn good weight for 124 scale, and this is a little bigger for 124 scale, because that one is also 124 scale, I believe it's Chrysler WE12 or something like that, I can't really remember. But you can see, like, it's a lot bigger than that one. So yeah, so I'm just gonna set this right here so I can show it off a little bit better. Yeah, so here is the 2015 W Motors Lycan Hypersport. Of course, again, the license plate says Furious 7, still my favorite Fast and Furious movie on there. Yeah, this is kind of like the star car of that movie. So yeah, but this, also the other thing I like about this is, you guys know my top 3 favorite cities in the world are Seattle, New York City, and Dubai, even though I've only been to Seattle. But the cool thing about the W Motors is it's actually the very first, like, Dubai origin created car company. So this is a Dubai car. So that's pretty darn cool, and that's why it was featured in the Dubai scene and everything. But I guess they actually did finally make a second car. This is, of course, the Lycan Hypersport, but I guess they actually made this car, called the, W Motors Fenrir Super Sport, which, there's only 7 of these in the world made, and this is like $3.4 million in each of the headlights. There's like 24 mini diamonds, cresting it. It's a pretty ridiculous car, and $3.4 million, I can't remember if I just said that, the Fenrir Super Sport, I don't know how much there is in the world, but I know I'm saying only, but $1.4 million, I believe. So there's obviously a lot more of that than there is this. But basically, if you want to search up a picture of it, I also might include one right now or whatever. But basically, it kind of just looks like the Lycan Hypersport, but it's even more crazy looking. So I don't like that one as much. But yeah, so here it is. So you can see it has this little sunroof, if you want to call it that, on the top there, which you can actually see inside of it. The cool windshield with, like, the cool little arrows on it and everything. And then you have the cool shaped headlights, or I mean not headlights, mirrors. And then the wheels are really cool because they actually have, like, the spokes and everything, like the real car has. And then they actually have the W Motors logo, which is also right there. In front of both doors and on the front right there, and it's also supposed to be right there. It's like on the real car it says like W Motors, like in Hypersport or something like that. And yeah, but then you can probably barely see that, but they do have that actually. They do actually have the disc brakes and brake calipers in there. They're black, and And then the cool little side blade, I absolutely love side blades on cars. And then that goes down into the extra right there, which is supposed to look like carbon fiber. I don't know how much you can see that, but it does have a little bit of a texture. Same with that kind of back flap or whatever you want to call it there. But the only thing that they actually did, like, that one's like textured, but the only one that they actually printed to look like carbon fiber, my favorite material in the world, by the way, is right here on these little bars right there. They're actually they actually look like carbon fiber. And then the front there, they actually did kind of make it look textured right there. That little thing, I don't know how well you can see that, but they actually made it a little more blingy right there, which must represent the diamonds. And then the front just looks really, really cool and mean and everything. And then the back, again, I really love those taillights, and the back just looks really awesome with the huge grill on the back, and then the backup light, and then you can see all that really cool geometric things. So for the opening things, the hood does open, but not that much. You can see it looks pretty darn good when it's down, but it does open. It opens like that, and it falls back down a little bit, but it really does not open that much. But then the whole hood has like all that carbon fiber kind of texture. And I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little bit of storage up there, but it looks like it's literally enough to hold about a binder. So yeah, so then that just closes like that, and you do have to push a little bit more for it to get completely closed. But that's that. And then the other part, the trunk doesn't open, sadly, to reveal the engine. But they did at least make the spoiler go up, which I like it down. I don't like it up at all, because you can either put it right there, which, I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but it still just kind of looks weird. Or you can do that, which I feel like that just makes it more of a brake than a downforce thing, because that just looks ridiculous. Like, that's just kind of weird. So I always keep that down, but spoiler does come up. But these are probably my most favorite doors on any car model I have, because they're not scissor doors, they're not butterfly doors. These are actually called reverse dihedral doors. But so they actually open like they do on the movie in the real car. They actually open kind of like scissor doors / butterfly doors, but they're like backwards. So yeah, so they open like that, which is very, very cool. That was one of the main reasons I wanted this model. And then that's the detail inside the doors. And then the interior details, I'll look here so you can see it. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but if I turn this on too, you can see the inside. It does have those really, really cool, like, insane bucket seats and everything. So yeah, you can barely see that, but and then if I could show it, there is another logo on the steering wheel, and then there's actually little stickers on the like the speedometer and the little like dash screen in there, which you can not really see. You can see the little stick in there, but yeah, so you can't really see it, but there is actually like little blue stickers that kind of show some more detail in there. So I really appreciate how they did that, and yeah, so I really, really love those doors, and those just close nice and well and everything. So definitely one of my most favorite car models. It's not pullback or anything, of course, but it does drive for quite a while. Like, if you push it a little bit, it does go for a while, and it's made, of course, by Jada Toys. And yeah, it says scale 124 like in Hypersport on the bottom. And yeah, so that is like an Hypersport model. So I'll go put that back on my shelf, and we'll get on to the next thing. So yeah, so that is it for that. So if you're wondering where my other car models went that were over there, are of course over here. So I have my little helicopter model right there, and then right there is my little Mini Cooper S model right there, and then I believe Chrysler WE12 or something like that. So the doors are slightly open. There we go. So yeah, so I don't really like that car too much. I just bought it because it was at Big Lots for cheap like a long time ago, and I just kind of bought it. So that's why I chose to put this one over here, but it's pretty darn cool, especially like for Chrysler. But yeah, so I just moved those over there. So the next thing is my updated movie collection. I have four new titles that I've picked up over the past couple of weeks. So the first one is right here, which is Inception. Of course, one of Christopher Nolan's best films. One of my most favorite films by him. And yeah, I actually bought this and watched it. So it was the first time I actually saw it. But when I went to Walmart a couple weeks ago, this was they had this bucket, and they're like little color codes for different prices. They're just buckets of movies, and this one had a green sticker on it, I believe, which meant it was only $1.75, which is really, really good. It's only DVD, no digital HD or anything. But yeah, so that is the back there, and I just dropped it. But then the front there. So yeah, so really, really love this movie. Of course, it's still a little bit long, but yeah, it was pretty darn good. So really like that. And then the room right here. Yes, I bought the room. So if you guys don't know it, it's probably it's said to be the best worst film of all time. It is by Tommy Wiseau, with his friend Greg Sestero and all of them. And yeah, you can just see how horrible it is. Like that, it just looks like he went to work for like an hour and they're just like, okay, here's a picture. Okay, that's good. And then the back, really bad photoshopped. Like kind of, you can see like it's all faded on the outside with Juliette Daniel, Tommy Wiseau, and Greg Sestero right there with the everything on there, and then some of the scenes there. And then all that. So yeah, and then the room right there with that. And so yeah, so. And I just got widescreen. Surprisingly, I pre-ordered, I bought, the first Kingsman, and I pre-ordered the second Kingsman, and, this was, surprisingly, it was like this new add-on item option, and if I added that on, it was only $5, so this, ever since it's been getting a lot more attention, this has been getting a lot more expensive on DVD, so I'm very happy that I got it while I could. But, yeah, so it was pretty much just as bad as I thought it was going to be. I watched it with my mom and dad, the night I got it, or actually, like, the day after I got it. But, yeah, so it was, after, like, at first, when he was watching this and everybody was laughing at it, Tommy Wiseau was actually pretty bummed, because he, like, worked really hard on it and everything. But after a while, he just accepted it, and he called it, and he just started calling it a black comedy. It was meant to just be a very sad drama movie. But just after all the laughing and everything, he was just like, okay, the only thing this can be is a comedy. And I was laughing pretty much the whole way through. Like, some of the lines delivered, like, when Denny right there, when he was, like, yelling it, on, Lisa's mom, he was just like, you're not my effing mother. It was just, like, so weird. And, of course, as the most famous, one of the most famous lines in cinema history, where he's just saying, like, I did not hit her in a whole bunch of different ways, and then, oh, hi, Mark. So yeah, so one of my most favorite lines, of course. Yeah, and then it says, like, written by Tommy Wiseau, directed by Tommy Wiseau, executive producers Tommy Wiseau, produced by Tommy Wiseau. So yeah, so just crazy. But, yeah, very weird acting. The sets are so much unneeded green screen. And, yeah, and then it just had, right there, the disc. Surprisingly, this box is very high quality, and the disc actually has a lot of disc art and everything. And I really love the disc release button and everything. For such a bad movie that came out in 2003, it's pretty high quality box and everything. And it came with a little room, like, with all the, came with a little, like, paper pamphlet thing that said, like, all the scenes, and then a very weird picture of Tommy Wiseau, which, if you saw that video clip in the intro, you would have saw my family is kind of like, it's kind of like the meme of the house currently. And currently is actually in the house still. We've just been moving it around, and, like, while others are sleeping, they just go and put them on each other's doors. Currently he is sitting here, and my mom just made this really creepy little note that just says, always kiss me goodnight, and he's just right above the light switch, so very weird. And then you can see on the back, yeah, I did not know that he had an underwear company, but I guess he does. Which, I don't know who would want to walk around in underwear that says Tommy Wiseau. So yeah, so very weird picture. Of course, he's shirtless, which makes it that much more weird. So yeah, very happy to own this. At the same time, it's kind of weird, but yeah, so very happy to finally own that. So I just put that right next to there. And then next up is the last two titles I picked up, which are both of the Kingsman movies. You guys know I absolutely love both of these movies. So this one I have been wanting to buy for quite a while, like ever since last Black Friday, but I just now finally got it. I believe this was only like $6, I believe. Might have even been like $4, but this is the first one, of course, Kingsman: The Secret Service, which I do like the Golden Circle just a tad bit more. My dad likes this one better, which... of course, I just like this one a little less, but not too much. But yeah, so, of course, that is, I just got it on DVD, but that's the front cover, and then the spine has Kingsman: The Secret Service with, Eggsy's little pug on there, and then the back right there, so, pretty darn cool. I do like the back of this box more than the Golden Circle. And then for disc art, it's pretty darn cool. It has a little red Kingsman logo right there. So then the next one is, of course, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which I pre-ordered and got it about a week later when it came out. So I did get this on the release date, which is just this past Tuesday. Yeah, so got this one on DVD plus digital HD. To pre-order this was only at $15, which for pre-ordering a brand new movie, that is pretty darn good. So of course the back isn't too exciting, but does have that epic scene of both them. Spine's a little more boring, just says Kingsman, the Golden Circle, no pug or anything. Yeah, so then on the front, do like this front a little bit better because you just got all of them right there, and then the golden Kingsman logo right there with they even put Elton John right there, and then got Poppy Land, the one-armed guy, and then Jeff Bridges' character, and then that really cool guy, I can't remember his name, with the electric whip or lasso, and then Halle Berry's character. So yeah, so that is that. And then on this one, sadly, there's no exciting disc art on the back there. Gosh darn, I'm dropping moves everywhere. But yeah, so just so it's just pretty much just white. So pretty boring there, but I will go put those back on my shelves. But yeah, so got both the Kingsman movies now. Very happy about that. Okay, so yes, that is all for my new updated movie collection. But now for my updated movie poster wall. So I believe last time we left off with Megan Levy. So yeah, so first off, starting over here is 9, which I just took the main poster and then added some things onto it, like the date and the director and focus features, just to make it look a little more like a poster. But that movie came out quite a while ago, of course, September 9th, 2009, and the movie's called 9, so pretty crazy. But I believe what's his name? I can't remember right now. Oh yeah, Tim Burton. Of course, he helped with it. He wasn't the director, but so yeah. But usually, I'm not a huge fan of him, but he is okay in my opinion. Yeah. So that movie was pretty darn good. It's very short. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. So like, it's just feature length. But it still seemed a lot longer than that. But it's on Netflix, so we watched it. And I watched it a long time ago, but I like fell asleep on it or something. I can't really remember. But yeah, we watched that almost a month ago now. This has been quite a while now. Yeah, so mainly I just hung up a poster for that because I really liked how creative it was. Like whatever they are, kind of like the little Big Planet things mixed with Minions or something. Yeah, so I just really liked that movie for how creative it was. I loved all like the human objects mixed with the little people and everything. And then the next thing is Men in Black. They finally added that, I believe, to Netflix. It might have been Amazon Prime, I can't remember, but yeah, of course, you probably all know Men in Black. I don't believe I've seen any of the other movies, but I'm just gonna hang up a poster for the first one, at least for as of right now. That one was pretty darn good. It didn't seem too long, and definitely one of my favorite Will Smith movies. And then, of course, Inception right there with the main poster, which I just talked about that. And then right here I have a double poster for The Room / The Disaster Artist, and just says best worst film of all time in quotes, and then oh hi Mark. So of course I have not seen The Disaster Artist yet. I was going to go see it in theaters, but the problem was, since I live in Great Falls, a lot of movies either don't go into my theaters, or my theater. A lot of movies don't go into my theaters, or they're like in there for like a one-time showing. And sadly, the one showing that my theater had of The Disaster Artist was 7 o'clock p.m. on Thursday. So, I mean, that's kind of like a school night. And, so yeah, so sadly I cannot see it. So I do have to wait until it comes out on physical media. But I just hung up a poster because I'm pretty sure I will like it. Plus, I mean, it's kind of like a little what happened after The Room movie, and I've been hearing lots of good things about The Disaster Artist. Like it's James Franco's, like it's one of his better movies, and it's not just like haha look at oh hi Mark. It actually focuses on like other things like Tommy Wiseau's and Greg Sestro's, like their actual friendship, and like how it was actually heartbreaking for Tommy Wiseau until he accepted it and everything. So yeah, so very excited to see that when I can. And then Fantasia, that's been on Netflix for a while, and I just now got around to watching it finally. That was pretty darn good. It was pretty darn long, but that was for how old it is. It's one of the oldest movies I've ever seen. I believe it's 1940, and I believe the oldest movie I've seen so far. I've seen clips from way older movies, and I did watch I can't even remember what it's called right now, but it's like a little 8-minute short called like To the Moon or something like that. I cannot remember. But The Wizard of Oz, I believe, because that's 1939. But this is one of the most iconic Disney things of all time. Of course, it has the really great ending scene, which we actually played one of the songs called Fantasia on the Dargensen back in like middle school or something like that, which is just inspired by that. It's not an actual song from it, but it's inspired by that ending scene where it's like the demons and everything. But it also has that, which I have a mug of, which is, of course, Mickey in the little space on his podium, in the Apprentice Mickey, with sending stars flying everywhere. And then you got the little angel baby thingies from that weird little scene, like with the Mount Olympus stuff. So actually really like that movie. And then the next one is a very old movie. It is the original The Day the Earth Stood Still from like 1940 something, I can't remember. But yeah, so very iconic robot there. I actually saw, of course, in Seattle at the Pop Culture Museum, there was like the actual prop robot that they used in the movie, so it was very cool. One of the many very cool things there. But yeah, so that was pretty darn good. One of my more favorite 1940s films. And then the last one there is Dunkirk. Yes, I finally got to go see that at the Base Theater. They have like one little showing of movies like right as they come out on DVD or right before they come out on DVD, like at Air Force Malmstrom Base. Finally they had Dunkirk there, so me and my dad went to watch that actually after I got back from Target from getting that pop in the Lycan Hypersport thing. So honestly I was expecting a lot more. It got a lot more reviews. I think it's a lot higher review than it should be. Honestly, it's probably, I do have to say, probably my least favorite Christopher Nolan film. Just because, like, films, I've seen films make it work where it just, like, drops you off, like, it starts in the action and, like, still have good character development, but this one is just, like, none of, like, for how big Dunkirk really was in real life and, like, how life-changing it was and, like, how violent it was and how many people died and they still saved, like, 400,000 people and everything. Is like they did not show that much. Like they showed maybe like 7 people get killed by like the bombs getting dropped from the planes like towards the beginning and everything. But honestly, the most important character that died was one of the kids on the boat with the older man that was like going into Dunkirk to start saving people on their little fisherman boat. And his name was George. And like they saved this one guy played by Cillian Murphy, which is a great actor by the way. He's in a lot of Christopher Nolan's films. But he got mad on this one scene and shoved him down their little thing to like the lower deck, and he like hit his head and went blind and then died. And he was the most important character that died, yet he wasn't really that important of a character. So it was just like without the character development and like no big deaths or anything, there was like no emotional attachment to it. And I just really feel like it did not capture what Dunkirk really was. The Tom Hardy scenes I really loved, especially the ending scenes where he like hopped out of his boat and like how his engine died and he was just hovering around for like 10 straight minutes. And then when he finally landed, he just got out and burnt his boat, and like that scene on the little island where he was just like his boat was burning and it was just like that little silhouette of him looking at it, and then he gets captured by the Germans. I really love that scene, but there were good parts of it, but overall not near as good as I thought it was going to be. Harry Styles was actually pretty good. And most actors are pretty good, but for acting, it's probably one of Christopher Nolan's worst acting things, but, yeah, like, I like The Prestige better, Inception, of course, the Dark Knight trilogy, and, I've seen pretty much all of Christopher Nolan's big films. He just has one more called Insomnia, I believe, I can't remember, but that's, like, the only one I haven't seen. Then some other movies I want to talk about that I did see but didn't hang up a poster for. I can't remember all of them, but I'll probably just talk about one, which was The Wall, which is an Amazon Prime member exclusive, which is kind of the same thing why I didn't hang up a poster for it, because it just throws you into the action as John Cena is one of the guys, and John Cena is one of the guys, and Aaron Taylor Johnson as the other guy who played the main guy on both the Kick-A movies and Quicksilver on Avengers Age of Ultron. Basically it was one because of their like no character development and everything, but also there's like 3 actors in the whole movie, and you really only see like 2 of them, which is John Cena and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and the third guy you never really see him. You just hear his voice, and he's like, kind of like the terrorist that is talking to Aaron Taylor Johnson while he's hiding behind the wall, and he sniped John Cena, so he's just kind of laying there the whole entire movie, and you really only see him towards the beginning and a little bit towards the end. But yeah, so it was a pretty darn compelling movie, but the only thing is you didn't really care for him because, like, I think a lot of movies nowadays with war films are expecting you just to, like, they don't need that much character development because they just expect you to care for them because they're U.S. soldiers, which you should, but I mean, it's just like in film, like, you need a little more character development than, like, Dunkirk and The Wall. So my dad watched it, he really liked it, but there were very compelling parts. I really loved how the terrorist guy, how, like, at the beginning he put on his little general voice and, like, he tricked Aaron Taylor Johnson, but then he, like, kind of put a little trivia thing on him, and then he eventually figured it out, and he went back to his, like, his kind of, like, Muslim kind of voice. So I really did love that, and then the end was great. I loved the end, I can say that, because there's, like, the helicopter's finally coming to save Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. Right as finally he got a lucky shot and went over to the scrap pile, and he popped his head up and he was shooting back at him, but then Aaron Taylor Johnson got a lucky shot and finally sniped him. So then it was all over, helicopters came, but then all of a sudden this was after John Cena finally tried crawling back over and got killed. But then there's, like, a few people on the helicopters that weren't even really named on there and everything. And they finally came to rescue him, but then they started getting sniped at again, and he was like, getting the mask on him, and Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, he's getting, like, the mask on him, and they're, like, trying to rehabilitate or whatever, him and everything. And he was trying to yell, like, there's another sniper down there, and then somehow he took down the helicopter with a sniper rifle. Must have been pretty darn heavy sniper. But then all of a sudden they started falling, and they started, like, screaming and everything, and then, like, they crashed, and then the next scene you just see, like, a wrecked helicopter, and then, like, you don't know if anyone's still alive, but then there's just this little voiceover of, like, that general voice that you heard from the beginning of the movie with the terrorist guy, and you just, like, hear him, and he's just like, hello, is anybody there? In his little U.S. military general voice, and I was just like, oh my gosh, because I don't know if Aaron Taylor Johnson's character was the guy that was still alive, but then, like, because then he would have had to go through all of that again, but I was thinking, like, what if it was one of the guys that came to rescue him, and then now they have to go through what Aaron Taylor Johnson's character did. So the ending was amazing, but the rest of the movie I did not really like. It was only like an hour and a half, but it seemed longer. And then the other things is I finally replaced this was older, but I finally made a new one just with, like, the cool newer Black Panther poster and Thor Ragnarok, so just replaced that finally. I basically just did it to do that, but this one's also a lot more even than my last MCU movie thing. So yeah, so definitely like this one a lot more. And then Avengers Age of Ultron, which, yes, in the intro you would have saw that I did see the official trailer and get my thoughts on it. And I just want to say that I also did see, there's this actual, like, scene of, like, the Guardians sneaking in, and then Benicio del Toro's The Collector is, like, getting stepped on someone, I'm guessing the Black Order or something, and then you could hear Thanos, and he's, like, interrogating him, and he's, like, asking where the Reality Stone is. And so that was really, really cool, because, of course, the Reality Stone is, like, the one stone that the Collector is in, he has, and he's in the wreckage of his little collection place on Planet Nowhere. And then, of course, I hung up a poster for the Punisher, which I gave my review on the last day vlog. Absolutely loved it, a little bit more than the Defenders even, so I got my 2 posters up for that, and I really love that poster. That one, of course, I customly made, but that one is the poster. So that is my updated movie poster wall and my thoughts on the wall. So yeah, so on to the next thing now. Okay, so on to the next thing is, one of my new drawings right here. So you guys know I have a lot of drawings from my first favorite band, 21 Pilots, right there, and all 3 of those my ticket for the concert that I went to. And then second favorite band, Bastille, third favorite band, Portugal Man, then Melanie Martinez, and then Eminem. But now for my 5th favorite band, which a lot of you have probably heard of, well, not necessarily heard of, but heard of some of their songs, like Clint Eastwood, like their 2 most famous songs, like Clint Eastwood and Feel Good Incorporated. Yeah, so I have, like, a playlist with almost 20 songs now or so, but I really, really like their music and everything. So yeah, and of course they, like, just recently started a new album after, like, a 7-year break almost, that just earlier this year. So yeah, so I have their main logo right there, Gorillaz, and then I drew all of the main characters, so I got the, pretty much the main guy 2D, right there, with his missing eyes because of Murdoch. I can't remember what both things he did, because they have, like, a story throughout their music videos of, like, this made-up band, because they're not really, like, a band necessarily. It's, like, this, in real life, it's, like, this guy that made up this band, so on the music videos, this is the band, but then in real life, it's just like a whole bunch of people that like kind of get together, and it's like different people every concert, and they just like play their music, and it's kind of arranged by the same guy. Kind of like Hans Zimmer, like he has concerts, but it's just like a different orchestra every time, kind of. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, so I got 2D right there, and of course 2D because of his eyes and everything, which both because of Murdoch, which is the leader of the band, who formed the band in the music videos, so I got him right there in his cool little cloak with his skull little thing right there and his greenish face. Then I got Noodle over here, the random person that came in, jumped out of a box and said Noodle, so that was her name, right there. And then she's like, when she first came, she was like a 10-year-old, so she's the youngest of the group. And then I got the drummer, Russell Hobbs, who was possessed, and then when they finally freed him of his possession, he was left with permanent white eyes. So then, yeah, just Russell Hobbs right there. And then I got him. He really looks cool. He's probably my favorite that I drew, but my favorite is 2D. And I got Russell's little boombox and Russell's little drumsticks right there. Just a little add-on thing, and then the little line kind of splitting them up. So really cool little drawing right there. I did a little bit of shading on those 3 things right there to add some dimension to it, but that is my new drawing right there. Yeah, so the other thing is, hopefully you guys liked in the intro, Taco's little ornament. My mom shared with me on Facebook this little video of these little dog ornaments where she made them out of salt dough, which I thought was more complicated. It's very easy to make if you guys want to make it yourselves. To get a pretty good batch, it was like a ball, like you could hold like that, and it was a big ball of salt dough. But yeah, it was salt dough, which if you want to make quite a bit, to make quite a few ornaments or whatever you want to make out of it, it doesn't necessarily say how long to cook it, but it just depends on how much you have or whatever. For the things I did, it was about 15 minutes. So I would recommend probably you cook them in the oven on a pan. I would say like 15 to 25 minutes. Unless if you're cooking like a lot of things at once, then probably go like half an hour. Yeah, so I would just be careful, because I think at a certain point, if you're in there for a while, I don't know if they just burn or if they explode eventually, but I don't really know, so be careful with it. Yeah, so I just made that. My mom shared it on Facebook with me, but they just made little circles and dipped their paw print in it, their dog's paw print in it, but for me, I made a circle, but I was just like, oh, why don't I go a little farther? So I added some more on the outside and made it like a little paw, and then I dipped Taco's paw in it, which he was not too impressed about. I dipped it in there, and then I pressed a little bit, and he was like, what are you doing? And so yeah, so but my mom, she like almost started like breaking up and everything. She was like, she really loved it because she like absolutely loves Taco. Pretty much everyone does. So yeah, so but it's just a really nice little memory thing for Taco. Of course, he's not dead, but definitely he's really a loved member of the family. And so yeah, so made that for him, and then I also used some permanent marker and wrote his name on it and his little colors, orange and brown. I just say those are pretty much his colors. Yeah, and then just did the little outlining thing and colored in his paw print so it'd be a little more visible. So yeah, so I think that's really cool. Definitely a really cool ornament, and I just stuck some twine in there, and so yeah, so made that, and yeah, so oh yeah, for the salt dough, the actual ingredients is in a bowl. You get 2 cups of salt, so a lot of salt, of course. So 2 cups of salt, 1 cup of flour, and I believe 3/4 cup of water. I believe that's what it was, but you can search up the recipe if you need it, if you need some more information. But the last thing I have to show here on this day vlog is finally a Clash of Clans account update, which finally the last 2 of them I haven't wrote down anything, but this one will go by a lot faster because I actually wrote down everything new since the last Clash of Clans account update, so I will do that real quick. Okay, so the next thing that I kind of forgot to talk about before I move on to my Clash of Clans account update is this little thing right here that I added to my movie memorabilia section right here, which I just built out of Legos about a week ago for me now. So yeah, so this one I didn't even watch a video. The only picture I was looking off of was my drawing here. So yeah, so if you guys don't know what it is the Infinity Gauntlet. I made it completely by myself. It's my design and everything. So if you want to build it, you can kind of like pause and see kind of what I did. And then on the back, let's see if I can kind of get around there without causing all my stuff to go haywire. But I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is the back there. So yeah, but from the front it looks very nice. But yeah, that is my favorite comic book item, as you guys know, from my favorite comic book villain, which is Thanos. And of course there's the Infinity Stone, the Infinity Gauntlet with the 6 Infinity Stones. So yeah, so I really like how he has 5 fingers each at like different levels, and then he has all the Infinity Stones. So he has the Power Stone right there, Reality Stone, Space Stone, Time Stone, Mind Stone, and Soul Stone. Pretty sure I got those all right, but yeah, and I just built this nice little stand with the silver, white, and gold, and yeah, just all 5 fingers. So I thought that was very, very cool, especially since I just built it completely by myself, and I just have been wanting to build a little Lego Infinity Gauntlet. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. So now on to the Clash of Clans account update, and then we'll end out this day vlog. So yeah, on to that. Okay, so now, of course, on to my Clash of Clans account update. So, of course, I have a list, so it'll go by a lot faster. So, this is my main base, which you can see improved a lot. On the last one, I said I'm, like, just about not rushed at all once I get all of my wall upgraded to level 7. But you can see I went even farther than that. So, first off, of course, all of my wall, as promised on the last Clash of Clans account update, it would be all level 7. And, of course, it is all now level 7. But I even went the extra step in all of the wall around my town hall, both of these storages, my Dark Elixir storage and my expo, or my first expo, and my town hall. That is actually all now even level 8, and then I even went a little bit farther and upgraded these 4 main corners to level 9, which looks really cool because it's actually flaming. And what's cool about wall, once you get it to level 8, you can see like wall level 1 through level 7 is just gold to upgrade it. But then, like, there's not enough things to spend elixir on, I think, in this game. So once you actually get it to level 8, you can actually spend gold or elixir to upgrade it. So I just got elixir and upgraded those 4. So yeah, so definitely very, very good there now. So yeah, so that's on my wall, and then the other thing is my Archer Queen is now level 9. I believe she was level, I believe she was level 7 last time I showed her, so yeah, she's level 9, 1 more level, and she will have ability level 2, like my Barbarian King. Goblin's upgraded to level 4. Dark Elixir storage is done upgrading to level 4, because on the last Clash of Clans account update, that was still upgrading to level 4, so that's done now. Along with my Dark Spell Factory, that was also upgrading to level 4 in the last one. That has been level 4 for a while now, so now that is another thing, not only max level for my Town Hall level, but it's a max level, just max level, like, you can't upgrade it anymore. So I now have all of the Dark Spells. You can see all I'm missing is the Grand Warden, the Clone Spell, the Bowlers, and the Miners, which all of those I cannot get until I upgrade my Town Hall to level 10, and then I believe it's level 11 for the Grand Warden. So yeah, I got pretty much everything I can right now. So, and then for achievements, you can see I got a lot more. My big old streak right there. So yeah, so I've got a lot of the achievements, and the other thing is right here. I actually have a picture of when I got it, but I've gotten pretty much all of the really big achievements that give you a lot of gems and everything. But I got my first one for my builder base, which is achieve a total of 3,000 trophies in versus battles. So here is that picture. Of course, my versus trophy record is 3,026. But I have dropped down a little bit. I'm back down to 2,740. But I did get the achievement, and I don't usually spend gems, so I'm still at 2,042. So yeah. So anyway, other than that, on this base right now, I also upgrade my dragons to level 3. My rage spell to level 4, and my healers to level 3. So I believe that's pretty much all for I upgraded on this. I don't think I forgot to write down anything, but I haven't started upgrading them right now, because I think I need a little bit more gold. I can't really remember, but once I get, I think I literally need like 40,000 more gold, so I'll start upgrading them probably like right after this video. But since I got my wall, I'm gonna be done upgrading wall for a little while now. And I'm going to work on just upgrading more defenses. So both of those defenses are level 5, so I can promise by the time I do my next Clash of Clans account update, I'm planning to have that air defense and that air defense both to at least level 3, maybe level 4, and then both of my air sweepers finally to level 2, but that's all I can promise for now. And then probably most likely my Archer Queen will be level 10. But now on to my builder base. So oh yeah, real quick. Like always, if you want to screenshot, or I mean not screenshot, but pause on that and see my base and all of that stuff there. So yeah, so that is that. So now onto my builder base. So oh yeah, the other thing is I can't remember if this was upgrading on the last one, but either way, I did upgrade my second Dart Barracks to level 4. So yeah, so now it's level 6 and level 4, and then along with my regular barracks, that one's been level 11 for a long time, but I upgraded my other 3 to level 8 now. So yeah. But onto my builder base here, you can see I have improved a lot on this one as well. So I finally got both of my, the first thing is I finally got both of my crushers upgraded to level 5. I just felt level 4 was way too low for where I'm at now, for my crushers. So I finally upgraded them to level 5. So yeah, and then the other thing is both my cannons are upgraded to level 7, which currently is max level for builder base, so they look like that. So both my regular cannons upgraded to level 7, my bombers upgraded to level 7, my boxer giants upgraded to level 10, my sneaky archers done upgrading to level 14, because on the last video, the update came out, so these were max level, but then I said that I had to upgrade them both. So they would both be max level once again, and my barbarians already were, but my archers were still upgrading on the last video, or on the last Clash of Clans account update. So they are now level 14, so those are both max level again. So that's all my troops on here in their current levels now, and and then the other thing is my battle machine I have upgraded to level 12, so that's pretty darn awesome. And then of course the achievement I unlocked, my multi-mortar is now level 6, so one more upgrade and that will be level 7. I don't know if I'm gonna do that anytime soon, but I don't really know, because I don't really know what I'm gonna do after this. So I might upgrade that, or I might upgrade both of these firecrackers to level 6, since this one's level 6, but anyway, again, my battle machine upgraded to level 12, one of my firecrackers upgraded to level 6 right there, so I think I'll probably go the route of upgrading both of these to level 6, because it only takes one day, and then all the 3 of those will be level 6, plus people are always just attacking me with, like, full-on witches, so I really need good air defense. But yeah, that's level 6. Both those are level 4. My air bombs are still level 4. But then the other thing is all of my archer towers are pretty much upgraded to level 7 to help with not only my overall defense, but my mainly my air defense. So yeah, so I got that one level 7, which that one is the one that is closer to the ground, the fast attack. And my other 2 are long range. So I got that one upgraded to level 7, and then I got that one upgraded to level 7, but this one is currently still upgrading to level 7. As you can see, it still has 1 day and 6 hours. So of course, on the next Clash of Clans account update, all 3 of my archer towers will be level 7. And yeah, all of my mines, not my mega mines, both my mega mines are still level 3. All of my push traps are still level 3, and all of my spring traps are still level 2, but now all of my regular mines are now level 4, so now they're like those ball things. And then my beta minions are upgraded to level 9, and my dark witches are upgraded to level 9 as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much, my dark witches aren't level 9 quite yet, they're currently upgrading. So on the next Clash of Clans account update for this, all 3 of my archer towers will be level 7, which is of course max level currently, and then my night witches will be level 9. So then of course I am also now at level 90, so only 10 levels, and I'm already over halfway to level 91 there. So on the next one I might be level 100, I don't really know, I'll probably be like level 96 actually, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for my Clash of Clans account update for this episode, and yeah, again, you can pause on that right there, and pause on that if you want to. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for my Clash of Clans account update and this vlog. So yeah, make sure to like and that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed if you're still watching, which none of you are. Make that joke like everyday vlog. You guys are probably just like, stop. But yeah, so but none of you were watching. Okay. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this day vlog. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.